So every time the EB-3, the employment-based category number 3, and you just use this to get the green card for your worker.
Okay.
And what the process entails, basically, you have to show that the position is important enough for your business that you need to hire that worker, that specific one, not just any random one.
Okay.
And we need to show that there is no U.S. worker available.
That's true. That's
to
now
fill that position.
it's very hard.
Yeah. So, and then, but the Department of Labor, you have to work with like several departments here, with the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Labor, and if the person is not in the U.S., then Department of State a little bit too. So the process is very complicated. It takes about 2 years.
Okay.
But then, and then the person for whom you're doing has to be in a valid status in the U.S. and some kind of an independent visa. We need to start with a basic drafting job description.
Okay.
So we draft the job description, and we need to figure out the proper title to use.
Okay.
And the minimum requirements.
Okay.
So, for example, to make this, what would be to make a great Nepalese food? You don't have to have a bachelor's degree, right?
No.
But you need to have experience.
Experience, that's
stuff.
right.
So how much experience would you say?
Minimum 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And it's very hard to get.
I
That's
know.
the reason it's very hard to get. But what kind of document you need from a restaurant?
So it has to be a business organization form. So LLC, corporation, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It has to be an address, and obviously you have this address.
Mm-hmm.
And then we want in the future, in about like a year or year and a half later, we want to see the tax returns.
Okay. How many years?
1 year is technically enough, but the more the better.
Okay, sounds good. That's
And
right.
so basically, another thing is that when you are paying the person, the employee that you want to sponsor for a green card is already working for you, you pay him like paychecks, right? You have paychecks and W-2s.
That's right.
All this documentation, even if like the restaurant is very new, fresh, or any other business, right? If you pay that person now, then we use that instead of tax returns. We just show, look, I've been paying this person for like 2 years. These are all the paychecks for 2 years, and this is the W-2. And that way we can shift the focus from actual tax returns, right? Even if because everybody is showing like not much profit.
That's right.
Yeah. So and then use the paychecks and the W-2 to show the ability to pay. That's the like a language that the Congress used, the ability to pay.
Okay.
So every restaurant had to show the ability to pay.
Okay.
And if we have paychecks and W-2, that means the ability to pay requirement is satisfied.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Good.
So how we start with that, we need to we work with a manager, and then we need to get the proper job title.
Okay.
And the job description.
Okay.
And the minimum requirements.
Okay.
So, for example, we would say chef. These are the job requirements.
Okay.
Cook wonderful food, lamb sag,
Titanic Mamo.
Mamu, and
Jeera rice,
chicken
chicken
tandoori, and basmati
rice.
And then basmati naan too.
The basmati naan, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
So we
need to describe all the things.
Yeah, we describe that on, and normally, so what you give me some basic directions on what to do, and then I come up with the job description, and then after that we do the minimum job requirements, and we put that amount of years. So if it's 10 years of experience, we just put 10 years of experience.
That's right.
And then we apply for a prevailing wage. So we need to this is the tricky part, because we need to have the Department of Labor determine how much you have to pay your employee to get him a green card.
Okay.
For every county, the amount is different.
Oh, okay.
And then there is a way to determine what it would be, because there is a chart for every year. But basically, we have to wait for that document for a couple of months. And then if it's called the prevailing wage, and then when it comes back, you look at it, it says, okay, I'm paying above already, or I'm paying that, or you make a promise that you're gonna start paying that wage when the green card is approved, so like 2 years later. So that's a tricky part. It takes time to determine that, but basically that's one step, and then we get that done. After that, we do the recruitment, which is where we actually advertise, and it's for 60 days, and then we wait to see who will apply for the job. And if there is nobody who applies, or people don't qualify, you bring them for the interview, or you see the resume, it's like the resume is no good, not enough experience, then we move on to the next step.
And then if we need to bring people from Nepal, because I found one guy, he's currently working in 5-star hotel, and he's willing to come, and he said, he's willing to come to help me, and in order to bring him here.
Yes.
I mean, whoever he's here is maybe a little easier than bring him there, or
Sure.
it's the same way process?
There are two ways. If the employee is in the US, then we file the adjustment of status petition, basically a green card, and then
You're
the
done.
employee is here.
Okay.
If the employee is not in the US, so we can do all this process when your potential employee is in a different country,
Yeah.
and then we just process the petition with the Department of State. We filed it with, it's called like the National Visa Center petition, and then your employee would need to go to the embassy and get this employment based visa. Basically, it's like a green card, but it's being stamped in the passport, and then you just get it there.
Okay.
And then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So in order to bring people from overseas, like maybe Singapore, Japan, or Nepal, do they have any minimum requirement for the education or no?
No, it's all about your minimum requirements. So whatever you need to say is, you just said it's like no degree and 10 years of experience, then that's your requirement.
Oh,
So
okay.
whatever that's why working with the petition like that, it takes a long time, and it's very important to start and work with
Okay.
with me.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because the very first step, if we make a mistake there, we will know that there is a problem 2 years later, and then
Yeah.
we may get denied. That's why from the very beginning, we figure out the proper job requirements, the proper job description, and the title. So 2 years later, we don't have any problems. Everything has to match, because this petition is employee specific.
Okay.
We cannot file one petition and then get anybody. We start working with your specific candidate,
Yeah.
like that person who works for a 5-star hotel,
Mhm.
and then we just put, okay, these are this qualification. We get experience verification letter, and then when 2 years later, when it's time to go to the interview, then your employee just shows that, okay, there's my documents, and then the officer just says, okay, this is all checked. This is exactly how you guys reported it to us 2 years ago to the Department of Labor. Then everything is fine. Here's the green card. for
Very
you.
good. So your whole family can come.
Whole family can come.
Very
yes.
good, very
But
good.
then throughout the process, we need to write down the family's names, so they have. Yeah,
Definitely.
we don't want to miss that either.
So how many applicants we can start now, if we want to start?
Yeah, one restaurant can have 3, 4, 5 people working there, or a little bit more. But if you have 50 petitions for one restaurant, it doesn't.
Currently, my restaurant has, I think, including everyone's, I think maybe it's 10 to 15 people full timer.
Okay, that means you can file 10 to 15 petitions.
Right, that's right. So okay, so if we do like 4 or 5 people together,
Yes.
do you have any specific package for them? Like maybe 5 people at a time?
Yes, we can do that, but then you see we have to closely analyze every single person's qualification, because let's say for somebody you have a 10-year experience requirement, for somebody else it's a part-time, or but you have like a 2-year requirement, for example, 2-year experience.
Yes, sir.
And then that's what we need to, if there is one requirement, let's say no degree and 2 years of experience preparing Nepalese food, then we can package them all together. But then if one person is 10 years of experience, it's a chef position, the other person is like a junior cook, the third person is somebody else, helper, then we can bundle them together, because they all have different qualifications.
That's right.
They get different salaries, maybe
yeah.
the work schedule is
Yes,
different.
yes.
So, and they have different responsibilities. That's why they need to be filed separately. But if there is like 5 people doing exactly the same job, like for IT companies, if it's like software engineer and like bachelor's in computer science and 2 years experience, and it's like 50 people, they're all the same, and then we file them all together. Yeah.
Wow. So that EB-3 is only for cook, kitchen staff, or outside service also? Service people?
Service people would work. We just need to determine the proper title, job title for that employee, for that person, and then it's for anybody as long as it's work. For any immigration questions, please download our app Skylex. It's Skylex, SKYLEX, Skylex Immigration Lawyer. It's available on the App Store and Play Store, and you can get connected to an immigration lawyer right away. You won't believe it. It works so cool. It's very quick. Skylex.